Now, there was, as I'd mentioned earlier, a brilliant night in Las Vegas, marred by a decision that left a lot of people bemused, including the man I'm going to speak to now, who was the promoter, who's been around the block a few times. He's an old friend of the show. Just a delight and a pleasure to welcome back Bob Arum. Bob, can you hear me?
I sure can. Nice
Bob,
to be on.
That's all right. Bob, has the decision in the Pacquiao-Bradley fight sunk in yet, or are you still as bemused as you were on Saturday night?
Of course. I mean, it was an atrocious decision. Our phones have been ringing off the hook here in the office. People complaining to us, wanting their money back from the pay-per-view or at the gate. I don't know what to say. We refer everything over to the Nevada State Athletic Commission because you see, one of the real problems that we have here is, unlike in your country, here it's the State Athletic Commission that regulates the fight in a particular state. Mm-hmm. And in the state of Nevada, they only have officials now whose basic qualification is that they live in Nevada. And as a result, it's a very, very small pool of people that they pull from. And they don't get the benefit in a big fight of selecting officials from all over the world, from the rest of the United States, international officials. And we're not getting... It's so incestuous here. They have maybe 11 people that rotate and get to be judges in all the big fights. And we're getting, never as atrocious as Saturday night, but we're getting atrocious decisions because some of these judges are becoming too clever by half. I call it voodoo judging. They see things that nobody else, not the 15,000 people watching the fight in person, not the press, and not all the people watching on television saw. Dwayne Ford saw something in this fight that nobody else sees. It's witchcraft, voodoo judging.
Bob, have you spoken to Keith Kaiser, the boss man there at the Nevada Commission, and suggested that perhaps they do change their policy and open their doors, pull down their barriers to outside officials?
You cannot imagine the arrogance of these commissions. They're peopled by citizens of Nevada, in this case, who really get appointed to the commission because they are political contributors. They have other businesses. They do this because it's great. They can invite their friends to the fight to sit in the official area.
Good seats.
And in Keith Kaiser, we have a well-meaning guy who is not Mark Ratner.
Yeah.
Mark Ratner was the former executive director. He was superb. He kept things going well because he was really adept at this. And when Dana White of the UFC called Todd DeBuff on Sunday complaining about the Nevada Commission and the decision, Todd said to him, "You're to blame because you took Ratner away from the commission.
You stole Ratner from us." So
yeah,
Bob,
exactly.
So, Bob, once it had sunk in and you're at ringside, people are screaming all sorts of things, all sorts of unpleasant things, and of course, it leads to: will there be a rematch? Was a rematch something you ever wanted? And have you still been talking to anybody from the Mayweather camp?
Listen, as far as a rematch is concerned, I'm not even going to consider a rematch until there is a full inquiry by an applicable law enforcement agency here in Nevada regarding the circumstances of what took place on Saturday night.
Wow.
Because ignorant people are saying, obviously, that I fixed or maneuvered everything in order to have Bradley win and get a rematch. That's absurd. I didn't even know who the officials were. I never talked to the officials. Nobody in my office talked to the officials. And the idea that we rigged anything to get a rematch is preposterous, because in most places, the promoters have nothing to do with the officials. I really believe you have to look and examine the athletic commission. Did the executive director say anything to the judges prior to the fight which might have led them to see the fight more favorably for one fighter over another? That's what we have to look into, because I know Dwayne Ford for years. I don't think you could possibly bribe him. I don't know this woman, C.J. Ross, why she was a judge at the fight. I can't understand. She's really doesn't have enough experience. So I really believe there has to be an inquiry here.
Well,
and even if there was an inquiry that cleared everybody and said this was just the mistake of two judges, then you'd have to ask yourself, is this fight subject to a rematch? Everybody saw a one-sided fight. If the judges had scored the fight right, which is either 10-2 or 9-3 or 11-1, then who would be asking for a rematch?
We wouldn't. No one would.
Exactly.
And you and I wouldn't be talking. So that's the only bonus, Bob.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, listen, Bob, we're going to be speaking to Andy Lee in a minute down in Texas. We'll speak to you very soon. Bob Arum, thanks for your time this evening.
Okay, give my best to Andy. It's going to be a great fight. And look what Texas is doing. They have a Texas judge, and they have, I think, John Keane from your neck of the woods.
Lovely man,
as
John.
a judge, and the top judge from the Philippines.
Yeah.
So
they pulled them in from all over.
We have really great judge.
Bob Arum, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you. That's Bob Arum there.